What do you want to be when you grow up?
A lollipop eater.
Is that a real thing?
When we are young, we are told we can do anything. We all have dreams. We think big when we are young. We're not held back by the constraints of adulthood. Think back to when you were 17. Maybe you were still in high school or just about to finish. Next year will be your big 18th birthday. You remember what was happening in your life? For a young girl, it was the year she found out something that would impact and stay with her for the rest of her life. Larissa was diagnosed with HOCM, Hypertrophic Obstructive Cardiomyopathy. The dreams of a little girl may be more far-reaching than she had first thought.
The heart is a beating muscle that continually pumps blood to the lungs and organs of the body. Inside the heart are 4 chambers, 2 upper chambers or atria, and 2 lower chambers or ventricles. The ventricular septum is the muscle which separates the 2 ventricles. Hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, HCM, is a genetic heart disease where there is increased thickness of the left ventricle, predominantly affecting the ventricular septum. There are 2 types of HCM, non-obstructive and obstructive. Obstructive HCM occurs when the mitral valve makes an abnormal motion and contacts the thickened septum, obstructing the flow of blood from the left ventricle out of the heart, as well as causing leakiness or regurgitation of blood back into the left atrium. This obstruction to blood flow and mitral regurgitation creates high pressures in the heart and is the main cause of limiting symptoms in patients with obstructive HCM.
So I was at school when I was 17 trying to walk up the stairs and I started getting really out of breath, but I just thought that I was unfit and I didn't think much of it, and so I talked to my mum about it and I said I'm starting to get dizzy when I walk up the stairs and I start to get out of breath, and she said maybe you have the same heart disease, so maybe we should go to the doctor and see what happens from there. So me and my mother went to the doctor together and he ended up taking some blood. I did a few tests and we found out that I have the same cardiac heart disease that my mum has. So it's been passed through my bloodline in the family. I was holding my mum's hand when I first found out and I was in complete shock to begin with, but then I just didn't think that it would change my life in any way. I'd just be the same teenager that I was.
Like a lot of people that are told that they have a condition or a disease, it's hard to take seriously, especially when you're so young. With so much going on for a young teenager, this was especially true for Larissa, until the seriousness of her disease really hit hard when she had a close call one day.
There was this one day when I was walking with my partner, carrying the grocery bags up a hill, and I started getting short of breath and it was hard to breathe and I was getting dizzy. I think I just dropped the grocery bag and held my chest, and I tried not to worry him. And I think it was the fact that we didn't have enough information to know whether to call the ambulance or not.
Even after we decided not to call the ambulance and Larissa had calmed down, I think we realised just how serious it was. After speaking to the doctors, in that situation, even as simple as Larissa walking up a steep hill was dangerous for her. Just that bit of exertion, just her heart having to just beat a little bit harder and faster to get past that obstruction. Her heart would just beat faster and faster and eventually would just give out.
I just wanted to act like a normal normal like 19-year-old walking with groceries up a hill. Like, I didn't want to be anything different to that.
After speaking with a heart specialist, the choice was made to have a pacemaker fitted to help with the added problem of arrhythmia. But a seemingly routine day surgery turned into a nightmare for Larissa.